what is the timeline? Let's run this together with her. Hi guys, it's Isa. In today's video, we're going to talk about These Hollow Vows. We're going to see a spoiler-free review when I'll discuss the plot, the world building, and my overall reactions. And then we're also going to get a little bit deep with some questions that I have around this book, some unanswered questions that the plot have and that I really want to discuss with you. Don't worry, because I'm going to be saying now we start with the spoiler part, and I'll also going to link the timestamps below so you're all aware. And for all of you that don't know it yet, I publish bookish content every Thursday and Sunday. So if you want to be updated, just subscribe to my channel. Let's get to the review. These Hollow Vows is a YA romance portal fantasy. It's set in a world where the humans can access under certain conditions fairyland. In this fae world, we have two main courts. We have the Silly Court, which is kind of where the good-ish fae live, and there we have Prince Ronan, and then we have the Unsilly Court, where the shadow fae live. And in there we have Prince Finn. The story follows our girl Bree, who is a very courageous and brave girl that has had a really tough start. Her mom left her and her sister alone when they were very young to go to fairyland, and in turn her and her sister needed to rely on her wicked aunt, which gave us very serious evil stepmom Cinderella vibes. And this evil aunt basically make Bree and her sister work for her because they have this huge debt that they need to pay. In order to pay it, Bree has rised up as a thief, and she is kind of moving on in the world just like this, stealing a bunch of stuff, paying their debt, but they are continuously in debt. It's never going away. And so one month, for whatever reason, she skipped a payment, and her evil aunt decides to sell Bree's sister to the king of the Unsilly Court, which is very unfortunate because not only Bree is without her sister at this point, but because Bree has this burning hate towards the fae, and now she is in this path to rescue her sister. But as we were saying before, we can only access fairyland under certain conditions. One of those is that every once in a while the portal opens to get to the Silly Court, but you need to go only if you pass for a bachelorette for Prince Ronan, because it seems that humans are kind of the breeding race for the fae, and she needs to get there, fake that she is kind of in love with this prince, and find her sister. You get to it, but she basically needs to navigate a lot of political intrigues between both of the courts and mainly two handsome fae. And I really liked this book. I ended up really enjoying it. I must confess that I spoiled myself completely because I saw a video that I will link down below that was hilarious, and I just couldn't stop watching it, and one thing led to another, and I spoiled myself to the whole plot. So I came to the book knowing the main things that were going to happen, and I thought that that was going to bore me, but either way I found myself reading up till 1:30 a.m. so I guess that's something. This book gives serious A Court of Thorns and Roses plus The Cruel Prince plus From Blood and Ash vibes. So if you liked any of those three, you're potentially gonna like this book. Maybe loved it. It just depends on what is your standard in romance and fantasy, but it's basically, it's fun. It's fun. I really recommend it. And now I'm going to change to the spoilers section. So if you haven't read it and you don't want to spoil yourself as I did, although I welcome you to do that, then we're going to discuss some of the questions full of spoilers. So see you soon if you're not going to remain, and if you will, then let's get to it. Okay, so let's go to the questions. The first question is, what is Sebastian's real age? Is he really 21? Like, what is the timeline? Let's run this together with her. We have King Oberon and Princess Arya. They go together to the human realm, which is great. They go time and time again to be together. One of those days, nights, she gets pregnant, and then King Oberon goes, and she cannot get in because the portal is closed. And so they remain in these separate worlds where her is supposed to be pregnant, right? Then sometime happens where the door is still closed, and then I'm supposed at that time she has gave birth to Sebastian. So, okay, he has been born, then the door opens again, King Oberon comes. I'm supposing she says, hey, I had a baby, this is your baby, and King Oberon is like, I don't like it, hard pass, I love this human babe. Cool. But then at some point, Arya is a queen, and then are you telling me that the queen of the Silicord has only been ruling for like 21 years? In that time, she has had time to marry this king, Kastan, and he dies, and he sets a course, and then it seems that the course is broken in 21 years. It also seems that she and Sebastian have been looking for the crown of Oberon for a long time. Like, what is long time? You are Fae. Aren't you kind of like very immortal? You know, you live a lot. I don't know, man. I don't believe Sebastian has 21 years anymore. It doesn't seem right. Following this question, I have the second one, which is how fast people move on from their love interest in this book, really. Like, we have King Oberon, who was supposedly married with someone, right? Like the queen of the Ancile court. Then he fell in love with Princess Queen Arya, which is great and makes sense. And they go to the human realm. They do this like sacrifice and all of that. It's everything very dramatic. And then 1 year he is away and he falls in love with this human woman, which is like, I don't know, like, well, I can understand that, like, you take care of me, this Stockholm syndrome, all of that. But then he comes to Fairyland, and Bree's mom also moves on very quickly from King Oberon. He's like, no, I don't want to go with you anymore. I now love this other human man. And very soon she has Bree and her sister with his man. So everything is very, very rushed. And also we have Finn, who has been deeply in love with this Isabel. Great name, by the way. And then Bree comes in and he's like, yeah, I loved her, but also I'm sending you some vibes. And so, I don't know, for being Fae, it seems to me that they move on very quickly. What do you think? My third question is, why Finn doesn't really have this potion of life for Isabel? It seems that he's the only one that doesn't have it. Sebastian have it. This current king of the Ancile court have it. Everyone have it. If he knows that he needs to bond with humans in order to remain alive, and he is in love with this girl, why in hell he doesn't go and find this potion that it seems that everyone has? That I really don't understand that. It seems very easy. Like, it wasn't really even mentioned that it was something that it was hard to get. And so, And my last question, what happens to the wedding? Like, it was everything a sham to finally get Bree to go to Silicourt and marry him and then get the crown. And I know this doesn't make sense because Bree's sister Jazz was sold to the Ancile and I don't believe they worked together. But at the same time, what was Sebastian's plan then? Was he gonna marry someone else, another human, and then made her queen and then force Bree to bond with him afterwards? Like, what will be the idea there? And also, did her mother know that she was the girl? If she knew, then what was the sham of that? Do you deserve my son? No. I don't know. Anyway, that was it for today. I know these questions are silly, but are really bugging me. But if you have any idea on how to untangle these, any hypotheses or any other question, please write your comment down below. I would love to read it, and see you soon in another video. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. Okay, let's see.